brings equity to those paid to support 911 in Missouri. Our 3 statewide 911 organizations, including the presidents, Sonny Saxton, Steve Hoskins, and Mike Phillips, along with our legislative task force members, and some are here today, April Ford, Cheryl Karnowski, and J.R. Webb, have done a wonderful job and worked long hours to make this bill happen. Thank you to Senator Wayne Wallingford of the Southeast Missouri area for his support over the many years. I am honored to introduce the next speaker, our true 911 champion. We owe her so much for all of her efforts in bringing this bill to the legislature. Year after year after year after year. She has truly supported us in the 911 profession and worked hard to make sure the citizens of our state have the best 911 services possible. Please help me to thank and I introduce Representative Jeannie Lauer.
This is the first day it's really hit me now that the bill passed. It's kind of just been the end of session and you move on, and seeing all of you here is really what this bill is about. And to me, this was never about a bill. This is about what you do on a daily basis, which is help save lives. And the fact that Missouri is one of the worst states in the country to provide 911 service is just not acceptable. And that's what we're fighting for. And over the 6 years, again and again, that we have carried this bill, we have had over 100 different groups come to testify in support of this bill, including the Heart Association, Lung Association, we have the Commission for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing. Just every group you can imagine would come forward and testify about what this means to each and every person in our state. And it's not just that, but it's also each and every person who travels through our state, where we see that tourism is one of the largest, the second largest, is that right? Second largest revenue generator in the state of Missouri. Yet we are not providing a level of 911 service to provide that safety to them. And that to me is not adequate enough. We need to do more. We are so fortunate today to be in this particular facility. This is the 5-star rating facility. And I admire everybody here in this area for doing this. What you don't see though is the opposite end of this, where we have facilities that might be a clerk answering a phone who's not trained in how to help someone with a health concern. You also find the ones where they can't even get a 911 service. So we want the state as a whole to be modernized and to be the level that we should all expect and we all deserve and is required by the Constitution of Missouri. So with that, thank you for being here, and I would like to introduce to you a gentleman who has been, during the number of years he has been in the legislature, always been supportive of public safety and EMS, 911, pick any sort of topic you might want. He has always been very supportive of this, has provided great knowledge and wisdom to me, but has also experienced very personal situations as well as many of us have too. And so for this, it's very important, and I welcome to you Governor Mike Parsons.
Good job, Jeannie. Well, it's great to be in Springfield, Missouri. As you become governor of the state of Missouri, you're not supposed to be partial anymore. You're supposed to represent all Missouri equal. But when you live 20 miles down the road, it's kind of hard not to say you're at home on that. So it's good. And thanks everybody for being here today. I know a lot of you, matter of fact, they were just kind of briefing me back that a lot of people from around the state of Missouri, or Kansas City, Cape Girardeau, just different organizations, a lot of familiar faces I actually see in the room over the years, and how important this was to be here today. What an honor it is to be able to sign this bill. Normally when you hear the word omnibus bill, that means you normally just lean back in the chair and you're thinking, oh my gosh, what all's in this thing? But I'm going to tell you, I do want to tell you, and I want to give credit where credit's due on this. And Representative has been just a workhorse on this whole issue for years and years. And for many of you in this room, you have. But I do want to say this, the state of Missouri, we all know went through a little bit of tough times this year with some distractions that went on in the state. But I want to say this to you, and this is important for me to say it to everybody in this room that you understand it. Why there is different branches of government sometimes, and why we all have different functions. But for the members of the House of Representatives and the Senate this year, they kept their nose to the grindstone the whole time. And they stayed focused on what was best for the people of Missouri, is what they did. And they didn't get caught up in the everyday distractions that a lot of us were getting caught up in, just because of the facts of it. But today is living proof of what they did by doing their jobs and staying focused on that job to be here today, to be able to sign this bill into law that has taken years and years, hard work after hard work to get this done. And I want every one of you to know, they probably had one of the most historical legislative sessions in our state's history this year of getting many, many good things done that was long overdue for the state of Missouri. And I thank all of you that were up there, and I basically thank Zim and Jeannie for everything you've done, for everything. And I know earlier we was a little slack on the applause for everybody up here. Let's give them all a round of applause. And for the media's here, you can report they all got a standing ovation. So, first of all, it's an honor to join you here today in Green County in the Public Safety Center. I would like to thank Mark Alexander, Zim Swartz, and State Representative Jeannie Lauer for joining us today as we celebrate a few successes from this year's legislative session. The Green County Public Safety Center, which reopened its doors in August 2012, is the focal point for coordinations of the city, county response, and recovery efforts during major disasters and emergencies. This building is home to the Springfield-Green County Office of Emergency Management, 911 Emergency Communications Center, and the Green County Sheriff's Training Center. This state-of-the-art emergency operations center, when activated, doubles as a regional multi-agency coordination center. When disaster strikes, Green County is ready to ensure a quick and efficient response. We are here today to spotlight the leadership of Representative Jeannie Lauer and her vision to further modernize our statewide 911 system. House Bill 1456 brings Missouri into the 21st century, preparing the way for all Missourians to have quick access to our emergency response professionals. And thanks to Representative Lauer and Senator Wayne Wallingford, Missouri will no longer be the only state without a statewide 911 system. What an accomplishment that is right there. The only one. Another important item we are here to discuss is the Senate Bill 870. Among many benefits, this bill strengthens and protects the privacy of our healthcare professionals, removes government barriers related to EMS professional licensing across state lines, and expands the Line of Duty Compensation Act, providing educational grants to surviving family members of emergency services and personnel killed in the line of duty. For many of you in this room, and this is not in my script, what I'm saying to you now, but several years ago, I lost my brother-in-law, who was an EMT down by Humansville, Missouri, working a traffic accident. Simple traffic accident, nothing major at all, just a total accident of what happened. But he lost his life as an EMT, and at the time, I had actually lost an officer when I was sheriff in the line of duty, and realized the discrepancy in two individuals that both give their lives for emergency personnel, and to bring all of the people that are emergency personnel together, that they may have that line of duty benefit, and more importantly for their children and their families. It was critical in this bill. It got overshadowed by a lot of things like the 911 and all the things that are in here, but that little piece of legislation there was so important, and I'm here to tell you I've lived through that both ways, and it's just so important. So I'm so proud that that was in there, so proud we can help with that, to do that. I just want to thank again for Green County Public Safety Commission for hosting us here today, but most importantly, thank you to all of you who serve as public safety professionals working to protect those who need our help the most. For all of us that have worn a badge, worn a uniform, no matter what it is, whether you're on a helicopter, whether you're out here running an ambulance and everything. Most of the time, we've all done things and do things every day that most people don't want to do. They depend on me and you to do the right thing. You guys are out there now wearing those uniforms and those badges, and you're public servants at the end of the day. Whether you're emergency personnel or not, at the end of the day, you're public servants. You're supposed to be here to help people every day. And that's what we all try to do. That's what I try to do as governor. That's what Jeannie tries to do as a state representative, is to make sure that you have the tools you need to do your jobs. But at the end of the day, it's up to all of you as individuals to remember who you are. And you're simply public servants. You're here to help other people, to try to save lives, to try to prevent accidents from happening, for multiple things. And for these centers, this is the first thing that happens on a 911 call. And that's why these centers, sometimes the people that you'll never see that's answering those phones, behind those desks back there and those computers, are just as vital as those sirens going down the street when we go say so. It is an honor and privilege to be the governor of the state of Missouri and to be with you here today to sign this piece of legislation into law. And I do that on behalf of 6 million Missourians here today. So again, congratulations. Congratulations to everybody that's worked so hard on this. And I'm looking forward to stepping over here and putting ink to paper, as they would say.
EMS, 911, fire, police. You guys want to send one individual from your services up, please? Come on.
Now, for everybody that's here, they're organized how they're going to do it, but I'm going to stay here as long as I need to stay here. So if you want to come up and you want to have a photograph taken, we're going to make it happen on that.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, a little bit. I've got your I've got your arm in there, but I think that's all.
Get a few more on this side. I got some more spaces back here, guys. Turn them around.
You've been here before. Remember?
Like his hairdo.
I'm not gonna be able to do that on videotape, so.
All right, here we go. Congratulations.
Yes, finally.
One more, and then we'll start the ceremony.
If we could have each individual service.
Do EMS first, please.
You want to do EMS first? EMS, we'll start with you all, so
It's done, guys.
come up.
We did it.
Each service, one at a time.